Podketeers.
I am happy that Scrubs is returning, though. It's been a
Boo.
decade
Who did
ish,
who did
over a
that
decade.
theme song?
I have no
Laszlo
idea.
Bane. That's the name of the band.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah, Laszlo Bane.
Superman by Laszlo Bane from their album All the Time in the World.
Yeah, it's a good
Wow.
album. That's really, I think, the only one that is known fairly mainstream at this point
Probably.
because of the show. It's kind of
mm-hmm.
like the Rembrandts, right? Like the Rembrandts had a pretty good, like record, but really the only one that they're known for is the song that ended up as the Friends theme song.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I had no idea that Scrubs was coming back. I was a big fan of the show when it was on originally. I bought all the DVDs. Like it was kind of like The Office to me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I've been watching Saint Dennis
Oh,
Medical.
I like Saint Dennis. I've been
Uh,
watching that one.
Scrubs is basically like Saint
Right.
Dennis. It's kind of like the
Ah.
spiritual successor to Scrubs.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I've really been enjoying that one. I had no idea that Scrubs was getting a reboot until I saw a TikTok come up with all of the cast members dancing to the theme song. And so I finally jumped in. I read a little bit about it, and I think it takes place like a decade later, 10, 17 years later. I don't remember when it was. But they're kind of picking up from where the last episode left off, and they're all kind of struggling to move forward. They're all still kind of working there. They're training new residents and everything, but I guess they all, like, the biggest thing is that they can't talk to each other the way that they used to talk to each other because they were pretty crude.
Mm-hmm.
There have been a lot of changes in the media landscape, obviously, and a lot of ways that we've learned to speak to other people that was acceptable back then that is no longer acceptable now. um, so yeah, it's going to be an interesting reboot. I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, I love the show when it was first on, and I want to see how it evolves and basically what it becomes going forward. So it'll be fun. Let's see. Hey, so show wise,
Mm-hmm.
last week, remember I went off on the whole rant about conformity gate and like Stranger Things and all of the theories about there being like these mystery episodes and all that stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, we were wrong. We were totally wrong. Uh, so when I first started talking about it and speculating about the whole thing, a lot of the speculation came. I think there was a consensus that the last season felt super off, right? It didn't seem like the other seasons, and what really bothered a lot of people is that the Duffers had so many years in between season 4 and 5 to really write the story and end it in a way that everybody would have been kind of happy, like, with it
Mm-hmm.
ending.
Right.
And throughout the season, there was a lot of inconsistencies and storyline wise and set wise and everything. And so when they announced that the documentary was coming, I remember finishing it like right after they released it. I finished it and I started texting my brother. I started texting my buddy at work, and we were like kind of discussing it. And my brother was kind of on board with the potential of conformity gate and there like potentially being more episodes as well, but my brother is also a big fan of like Gravity Falls and all these other shows that kind of put you in that mindset. Like, we love kind of like solving puzzles, which is, I
Mm-hmm.
think, why we approach it that way. My buddy at work is a lot more straightforward, and he was like, yeah, I think that's just the end. Like, he was very on board with that's just the end of the show. And after talking to him about it, I told him, if this is truly the end of the show, I can live with it, right? I'm not gonna be happy with it because it's a crappy ending for the show in general. I know there's a lot of people that are just kind of happy with it. Uh, Over the course of the last week since we recorded, actually it's been a little over a week now. there's been even more stuff that has come out, and more cast members are getting interviewed, and there's still a lot of inconsistencies and a lot of what seem like hints that they're dropping that there's potentially other stuff coming. And there's this one creator that somebody sent me that had this really interesting argument about the whole thing. And Andrew, you might know a little bit about this, but apparently there's this registry for TV episodes and basically anything that airs, right?
Sure.
That's how it gets the airing ID and stuff like that, and that's how
Sure.
it basically becomes for broadcast. And you have to register that sometimes months in advance. Sometimes you have to, make sure that it's in before it gets broadcasted for TV. And so part of the reason that this kind of has lived on past that the documentary is that a lot of the or all of season 5 I think doesn't have show IDs. Like they're kind of registered by name only, but they don't have show IDs, which means that they're not finalized, right? The show ID means it's basically been finalized, it's become a thing, and it is now part of historically registered media that's out in the world. And so the theory is that because they're not finished, the Duffers can go in and edit anything that they want through Netflix and re-air it however they want to. And there's also these like parallel theories that people have now that I think it was Ross Duffer. I don't know which one of the two brothers it was, but there's a theory that his ex-wife kind of was helping him write Stranger Things, and then they were divorced at around season 4, which is why season 5 is so inconsistent, because she was no longer there to bounce the ideas off and stuff like that. And she I forgot what she wrote, but it's another horror show that's very similar to Stranger Things as well. It's gonna come to me at some point, but so there's a lot of theories floating around. As far as what I thought, which was that the documentary would turn out to be some kind of
Fear
like
Street.
new nightmare, like Fear Street. Yeah, that's what it is. Thank you. That it was going to be some like new nightmare thing, like with what Wes Craven did with the Freddy Krueger series, and did this like meta thing where Freddy was attacking the real world actors. It was not that. So I was kind of upset because my theory didn't pan out. So at this point, I think I've reached the point where conformity gate for me personally was just a really cool distraction because of like all the stuff that's been going on. So I
Yeah.
just thought, hey, this is a fun way to kind of like cleanse the palate and like do something kind of fun, right? Try to figure this all out. Again, it reminded me a lot of the Wyatt Six debut with all the puzzles and all the QR codes that WWE is like flashing on Raw and SmackDown and everything. It reminded me of watching Gravity Falls, and then kind of doing it again with my kids when I finally bought Journal 3 and everything when they got into Gravity Falls. So they were kind of going through the process of learning the Caesar ciphers and all that stuff. So are there inconsistencies? Yeah, a lot. Is there a lot of clues that seem to point to potentially other stuff being there? Yeah, a lot. But I think I've reached the point where if something new comes out, cool. But there's also the side of the idea of this I'll just throw this last thing out about the documentary. The documentary itself is also very inconsistent and seems to show a crew that is very frustrated with the Duffer brothers. They make themselves look really bad in the documentary, and there's been a lot of speculation on whether it was them committing like some kind of like media harm to themselves so that they can be the heroes and really come back and be like, we did it, we gave you the ending you wanted, or if it was Netflix kind of showing off the process so that Netflix wasn't blamed for the horrible ending of Stranger Things. Then there's this other theory. No, it gets worse, because I don't know if you knew this, but the Duffers apparently have a new contract to go to like Warner Brothers or something like that, like in like for their next like big show. Now people are speculating that they bombed it on purpose because whatever company they're going to gave them more money to bomb it for Netflix because
Paramount.
it's so Paramount. That's what it is. Which could it happen? Probably, but that's why it's a theory, right? A movie
Right.
theory. Sorry, Matt Pat. Um, so again, I'm at the point where I'm just gonna kind of leave it and kind of take it as it goes. And if we get something new, cool. I feel like I was on the wave when it was originally happening, but as of right now, I think I'm just gonna have to move on from it because it is time consuming sometimes to sit there and try to like figure things out. There's there's things where you have to go into the website source code and like figure out the puzzles and the ciphers that are in the source code itself, and it's exhausting sometimes. So
Seems like a lot of work.
it is, but it's fun, right? Like it's one of those things where
I mean, if you say so.
if you like puzzles and you like kind of, I mean, if this is basically again, I talked about the ARG aspect of it, right? This like augmented real world reality game. It's essentially a real life escape room, right? So if you're into escape rooms and if you're into solving the puzzles to escape the room, it's basically just the real world that you're playing in. That's kind of how these ARGs function to a certain extent. So again, at this point, I'm just kind of moving on. I'll be excited if something does happen, but as far as what I thought the theory was, what I wanted it to be, nah, I was wrong. I was 100% wrong. So there it is.
You win some, you lose some.
Yeah, it works out, right? Hey, speaking of Gravity Falls, I want to show you a quick video because there is a creator, model maker, really talented guy that makes a lot of like monsters and like little creatures. Their name is Kreaturekid on TikTok, YouTube, all that stuff. They make some really cool stuff. On their YouTube channel, you'll find a lot of really great pieces. But he's friends with Alex Hirsch. And for the last 5 years, they've been working on a model of the Mystery Shack from Gravity Falls. And I absolutely love this thing. They put a teaser up on TikTok about a week or so ago. I'm still waiting for the full video to come out on their YouTube channel. But check this out. Let me see if I can play this with the... Yep, it's got the audio here. Or it might have some Gravity Falls stuff, but check this out. Look at this model. I don't know how familiar you are with it on the show, but this is literally
cool.
5 years of work rebuilding.
5 years?
Shack. Yeah. I mean, obviously they're working on other projects and stuff like that
That's
too.
true.
But
That's
like,
true.
But it's all they have tiny versions of the characters and everything
That's
represented. I mean, it's really they call it a model, but it's more of a diorama, really.
Sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm 100% looking forward to seeing this whole video once they release it.
Very cool.
I've also been contemplating buying the Lego Mystery Shack that I've been seeing. It's not an official Lego product, but from all the reviews that I've been seeing, I've read that the pieces are very similar to Lego and that they hold up pretty well.
Nice.
So we'll see. I got some gift cards and stuff like that I got to start using soon.
There you go.
Maybe that's what I'll use it on. I actually should have just switched over to this video. This is not related, actually. This is just a fun video that came across my feed. The person that posted this, their name is Spencer. I don't remember what their last name is, but their father worked at Pixar, and they worked at Pixar really early on when John Lasseter and Ed Catmull were like still working directly with Steve Jobs to kind of like launch Pixar and propel Pixar.
So they're really early years.
Like really like super early, right? So I want to share this video because I just thought it was kind of a sweet story. audio. All right, let's see if this works.
And if you want to learn about Steve Jobs and Pixar, listen to last week's episode of Quizneyland. I think it was last week, so we covered it. Yeah, look at that.
By now it'll be 2 weeks.
2 weeks ago, Quizneyland.
Yes. All right. So as the title says, the story about how the Pixar lamp is based on me is the title.
What?
So
Really?
yeah, check this out.
On the third date with my now
I don't
wife,
hear anything. Do you?
she said to me, "So tell me something interesting about yourself."
And she
I'm
I'm not
know
hearing
that I have
anything.
A
Are you
banger
guys hearing
answer to
anything?
that, which is that the Pixar lamp, that hopping lamp logo that hops out on screen.
Can you hear his audio?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't hear the audio.
Oh, that's weird.
Really?
Oh, yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'll keep playing it.
Before every
I've already
Pixar
heard it.
movie.
Okay.
That lamp is based on me from when I was a baby. My dad was a computer scientist at Pixar. I was about a year old. He brought me into work. We were playing with a tennis ball, and John Lasseter saw us, and he wanted to do a short film about lamps, and then he saw me and saw my big head. I have a big head. Babies have big heads, and I have big eyes. And that as babies, we can't really reach over our heads, and he just thought that was funny. And so it just struck him to do a short film about a father and son lamp, and Luxo Jr. was born, which is this short film that Pixar made. And then a few years later, my little baby lamp became the logo of Pixar and hops on screen before some of your favorite movies. And it's cute, right? Like, it's a cool story. I'm, I can't help but be proud of it. And obviously Pixar has been a huge part of my life and a huge gift for me. And in those first years of Pixar, it was kind of an unknown entity. And I remember pretty distinctly in 1995, Toy Story came out, and Steve Jobs, the president or the owner of Pixar, was taking Pixar public a week later. He was gambling it all on Toy Story being a success. And I remember pretty clearly my dad taking a phone call during dinner, and my father never took phone calls during dinner. And there was a corded phone. He stretched it to the other room, and then he came back in after that phone call, like visibly calm. And years later, I asked him about it, and he said that in that phone call, it was either Steve Jobs or Ed Catmull, the president of Pixar, told him that Toy Story would be a success. And I mean, it's a gift, right? Like, I had nothing to do with it. I had nothing to do with being the lamp, but it is such a gift, and it's kind of framed my life in a way as just a recipient of great generosity. And I think about that lamp a lot. Obviously, I was a baby then, and I'm a dad now. When my son was born, I became a father, and when he was born, and I admit this is going to go in a dark direction for a little bit, we heard a nurse call out, "No breath, no pulse," and they immediately started CPR. And a minute went by, and it's quiet in that room. It's real quiet while it's all happening. And a minute went by, and they yell out, "No breath." 2 minutes, no breath. They injected him with epinephrine. They kept doing CPR. They put a bag valve mask over him. And just about now, a little over 2.5 minutes, he took his first breath. So just about now from when I started talking. And, I think about those 2.5 minutes a lot and everything that goes into it. And I was obviously the baby lamp then, but I really see myself as the father lamp now. And in that short film, it's all about showing your son the world and accepting disappointment, accepting sadness, and still forging ahead. And in that moment, I really did feel like I had let my son down somehow, that I couldn't protect him. He's 9 years old now. He's happy. He's healthy. He plays soccer. He's been proposed to twice. And I'm just very fortunate. I'll always remember going into the NICU after he was born and seeing the man that had performed CPR on him. And he was logging everything into a computer, and his computer had a Toy Story mouse pad. I'm not one for coincidences or, connecting the dots or anything like that. But that was pretty cool. It was oddly comforting. And so at this point in my life where I see myself as that father lamp and I see my son thrive and be happy and successful, I'm just very grateful for that. And I'm grateful to my wife. I'm grateful to my daughter. I'm grateful to my father. And yeah, I still think it's a pretty banger answer to that question, though, huh? This one?
So I first saw this video, and I have to admit I got a little choked up listening to the story.
Yep.
I thought it was a very cute story.
Mm-hmm.
I there's a lot of things that he said that I feel like I connected with, just kind of as a dad. Even just the Pixar connection, obviously, like for me. I've talked about it on the podcast before, but I remember when I held my first son for the very first time. The very first song that, I don't know if other people's brains work like this, but I associate music with a lot of things and a lot of like moments in my life. And the very first time that I held my oldest son, I felt like I heard the theme song to Finding Nemo. The Nemo egg music was playing in the background, like in my head.
Mm-hmm.
When I held my second son, Define Dancing from Wall-E was playing like in my head, like as I held him for the first time. So like for me, there's also like that connection to Pixar. Nothing this deep, obviously, where like it's Luxo Jr., right? I had to go in and like look at the post, but there was another video where he had posted a video of him and his dad, because he was featured in the documentary. I was trying to remember who his dad was. Let me see if I can quickly find it.
We should have said, we should have given a warning about, hey, you may need a tissue or two, because, yeah.
Tom Porter. That's who designed the Luxo lamp. Spencer is his name. So, yeah, I just thought it was such a cool story
It's very
that I
wholesome.
thought people would like to hear. Yeah, right. It's one of those cool things where, again, given everything going on, it's kind of that like reprise of like, oh, that's just kind of sweet, right? It's like a nice little story that like hits you in the feels in a positive way. So yeah, I'm glad that video came up on my feed. And I don't know if Spencer's ever gonna watch this video, but just so you know, your dad and that Luxo lamp and Luxo Jr., I think, have changed a lot of people's lives over the course of ever since it was invented. So as much as it means to you and how much it meant to the birth of your son and everything that you just talked about, know that it's meant a lot to all of us as well. So,
And thanks for sharing, because he
Yeah.
didn't have to be vulnerable.
exactly. Yeah.
And apparently that story, I just looked up Tom Porter on Wikipedia, and that it says Porter's son Spencer was the inspiration for Luxo Jr., blah, 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 blah. And apparently that is referenced according to the book The Pixar Touch by David Price. So there's a real, like, written down story, cited and everything too.
Yeah. There's also a documentary, because I remember I went through his stuff when I was going through his account and the other videos. There was like a screenshot of like him and his dad. I think at Pixar or something like that they featured in the documentary as well.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I just thought it was a super cool story. All right, before we jump into anything else, I think this is a good time to just take a quick break. What do you guys think?
Sounds
time?
good.
Yep.
All right, so we're going to take a quick break to thank a very special group of listeners and viewers, our podcast Fairy Godparents, aka the FGP Squad, because it is their support via Patreon that help make these episodes of Podketeers possible. For more information on how you can become part of the FGP Squad family, we invite you to go to podketeers.com/FGP. On that page, you'll find a list of some of our top contributors, a link to our Patreon, some information about what the FGP Squad is all about. But in short, it just gets you access to additional content, some cool giveaways, a special section of our Discord, discount codes for new Podketeers gear and all sorts of stuff. So if you're interested, podketeers.com/FGP is where you want to go. And of course, to all of the members of the FGP Squad, we just want to send a huge thank you for your continued support. As always, since we're talking about links, now's the time to remind you that podketeers.com/links is where you will go, or where you can go for all your Podketeer linking needs. On that page, you'll find a link to our latest episode, a link to the Quizneyland playlist, any fundraisers that we're running with our official charity team, Teamboat Willie. You'll find random things that we're supporting. If there's any causes or anything that we want to make light of, you'll find it on that page as well. You'll find a link, of course, to the FGP Squad, a link to our Discord community as well. We'd love for you to join our community. We talk about all sorts of stuff. Disney, tacos, cake, Disney Dreamlight Valley, random things in general, more tacos. It's a fun time. Join us. You'll also find a link to our YouTube channel and our pal Larry's YouTube channel, Goofy Guys Adventures. You'll find our Armchair Imagineering playlist as well. So it's a fun time. Set a bookmark, set a shortcut. I can promise you that page updates at least once a week, because that's when the new episodes go up. So check it out, bookmark it, and now let's get back to the show.
So I discovered something by reading Tom Porter's Wikipedia page. So apparently math nerds have a 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, but it's called the Erdős, ERDOS number. He's a Hungarian guy. It says it describes the collaborative distance between mathematician Paul Erdős and another person as measured by authorships of mathematical papers. So it's just like, if you know how you can connect to this math guy. I just thought this was interesting. So they have their own math 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. It's this Erdős number.
I thought this was going to go somewhere else.
Nope. I thought it was going to go somewhere totally different as well. But, I mean, it's still turned out to be
Where did you think it was
interesting.
going to... You just had no idea, but you didn't think it was going to be that?
I thought it was going to be that they were, like, related to, like,
Yeah.
Ed Catmull or Steve
I
Jobs.
was
because
I don't
7
know.
degrees
It's
of
just a
something.
weird thing with math nerds. And
It's
don't know.
okay. We learned something
sorry,
else.
math nerds.
You're always welcome here to talk.
Yeah, you're welcome here. I just called you math
Yeah.
nerds. It's fine. I'm not a math nerd. I wish I was better at math.
Let's see. What do we got going here? Oh, last week we showed off the first 3 trailers that were made available to us for Avengers Doomsday.
Mm-hmm.
And it was interesting because we had seen a post that was promoting a 4th trailer,
Right.
but from what we could see, it was a fan-made trailer that was trying to reconstruct what they had seen at the movie theater.
Right.
It wasn't the official version, so we didn't show it. But there is an official 4th trailer released now. I want to quickly play that because it does play into everything that's been going on, including dun-dun-dun, more theories.
Ba-da-da-da. That sounds like the millionaire music.
So let's go with this one here. I won't be playing the audio just like I didn't last week.
I'll describe it. It's okay.
Because, again, there are some issues that come up when we do that. But here, let me play it. We'll let Andrew describe it.
Desert.
Desolate.
More desert. It's still desert. Back of the head. It's the back of the head. Shoulders. I'm pretty
Black
sure this is the
Panther.
Black Panther. It says, I
Yes,
lost
it is.
everyone that loves that matters to me.
Warrior.
Aquarian people. What are those people called? The king has its duties to prepare our people. There's Aquaman.
Namor.
That's not, and the afterlife. And then here's Black Panther. And there's M'Baku. I have mice.
King.
Is that what that's it?
I have mine.
Oh, mine. King M'Baku of
King
Wakanda.
M'Baku of Wakanda.
Ben of Yancey Street between Broome and Grand. That's the thing. Black Panther. She's there. She does the arm thing. The Wakandans
And
and the
behind her
Fantastic
were
Four will return in
Dora
Avengers
Milaje.
Doomsday.
Woo.
December 18th,
Yes.
2026. Some numbers and then like the countdown clock.
The countdown clock. Now, here's the thing. This particular clock, this is just a trailer that got posted to the Marvel Entertainment YouTube channel. There is a live Doomsday clock officially going now. So if you go to the Marvel Entertainment YouTube channel, in their live section, there is a live Doomsday
So
clock.
if you're a real lunatic, you can figure out when we recorded this if you really want to by basing it off of this time.
So I'm excited. Obviously, there was quite a bit revealed as part of that trailer. We have the confirmation, obviously, of something that we had talked about from the comics: Shuri taking the mantle of the Black Panther, but she is not the ruler of Wakanda. That has now gone to M'Baku, who is now the king of Wakanda. So we see that transition. The Dora Milaje, of course, would be answering to M'Baku now, but I'm sure that they fight alongside Shuri. They will be fighting alongside the Fantastic Four. Now, the thing that ties this all together, we're going to bring up this post that we found over on Threads. Who sent this over? Mel, did you send this over?
That was me.
Andrew.
Oh, it was you, Andrew?
It was me.
Okay, so this is kind of there's a lot of theories obviously floating around about what all of those trailers mean, and obviously the first thing that you think of is that it's scenes from the upcoming film. And there's a lot of speculation about what they are doing with them and what isn't being done with them, to the point where some people have kind of speculated that these are points in the MCU from specific comic books that they're highlighting, not clips from the movie themselves. And so this post right here, they seem to have figured out some of the Doomsday Clock code and stuff. So if you look at it, there's this code that happens in the Doomsday Clock. You can't see it really in this screenshot.
It says like
but
1B something. It says
yeah. So I'm just gonna read. This is I think it says Voltov is the account name.
I think it's like
Voltov _01
or
Yeah,
Volt
Volt V.
TV. Who knows?
So this is what the first slide on their post says. Marvel hit a secret code and it may change everything. Marvel released 4 mysterious Avengers Doomsday preview teasers. They warn fans these aren't teasers. They're stories. They're clues. And I bet you they're going to do a lot better job than the Duffers. I just want to say that. Each teaser contains a hidden code tied to the Doomsday Clock. The numbers appear to be counting down in every release. Fans believe this code connects directly to Avengers Endgame. The next slide says the Doomsday Clock explained. Marvel launched a live Doomsday Clock on YouTube, which is the one we were just talking about. The clock is expected to run continuously for an entire year. This suggests a long-term, carefully planned marketing strategy. Again, way better than the Duffers have been doing with Stranger Things. You hear that, Duffers? Come on, man. Conformity gate, hashtag. Anyway, the Doomsday Clock is central to Avengers Doomsday promotion, and the hidden codes appear at the end of each preview trailer. The next slide says the 4 hidden codes have been revealed. Steve Rogers' trailer code is 1E24B02020. The Thor trailer code is 1E17B02020. The X-Men trailer code is 1E11B02020. The new Wakanda and Fantastic Four trailer is 1E04B02020. All 4 numbers appear to descend in sequence. All right. So the next slide says the debunk theories. The first theory is that the numbers count down weekly by 7. This theory fails between 17 and 11. The second theory is that the numbers are alphabet ciphers. The letters would be X, Q, D, and K with no clear meaning. Fans began searching for a deeper connection. See? People love these puzzles and these codes, Duffer Brothers! So the next slide says the endgame timestamp theory. A major theory suggests the codes are Avengers Endgame timestamps. Avengers Doomsday is confirmed as a direct sequel to Endgame. The theory links each code to the time heist scenes. These scenes involve the Infinity Stones. The timing coincidences are surprisingly precise. Next slide says timestamp 1, the Time Stone. The first timestamp aligns with the Bruce Banner and the Ancient One. She explains the danger of removing the Infinity Stones from the timelines. She says that the world would be overrun without the Time Stone. This occurs during the time heist. It directly references the Time Stone's importance. So far, I have to ask both of you, as kind of Marvel, not like hardcore Marvel fans, but fans nonetheless. How is all this sounding to you before we move on to the next timestamp?
Crazy, but fun, because if you've seen all the movies, and you remember the parts of the movies that are part of the scenes that are being brought up, it makes you think, and it's like, okay, yes, this the Ancient One did mention this, but at the same time you're like, dang, we got to see Loki season 1 and 2, and you're trying to also put that and then math in your head for some reason and trying to understand the whole thing. That's the only way I could describe it.
Yeah, it's, this kind of feels like a conformity gate thing, but it does seem to have but also so did conformity gate have a lot of like standing and ground and stuff,
right,
like evidence to support it. But these are like the trailers are obviously giving you like those numbers exist. It's not like you had to go into the source code or anything.
Right.
They flashed them on the screen for somebody to figure out. So it might not be that this is the exact thing, but it could mean that there's definitely something there.
Right. You hear that, sorry.
Well,
anyway,
didn't they also said like their clues? Did the
Russos actually
said these are clues?
These are clues. Yeah.
Right.
They directly said that these were stories and that these were clues to something. So we're not being misled or being put in a direction that's making us think that there's something there. The Russos have directly told us that there is something there. So
right.
That's the big difference. And if you believe the Stranger Things documentary, the Duffers went into season 5 not even having written the final episode. So
yeah, they're like, I don't know,
that? Anyway,
ChatGPT figured it out.
They were asking ChatGPT and Reddit. So according to the document, I'm sorry. Let's go back to this timestamp number 2.
Happy stuff.
Yeah, timestamp 2: Mind and Space Stones. The second timestamp aligns with Avengers Tower in 2012. Loki is captured before escaping with the Tesseract. The Tesseract contains the Space Stone. The Scepter present contains the Mind Stone. 2 stones are referenced in one scene. Okay? Now, timestamp number 3 is the Reality Stone. The third timestamp lines up in Asgard. Thor and Rocket discuss stealing the Reality Stone. The scene focuses on the consequences of taking it. This adds another Infinity Stone to the pattern. The time heist continues to connect all the clues. Then the fourth timestamp, the Power and Soul Stones. The fourth timestamp aligns with Rocket and Ant-Man. They discuss traveling to space. The conversation mentions the Power Stone. The scene shifts towards Vormir and the Soul Stone. All 6 Infinity Stones are now accounted for. And what it all means. So the time heist may have started the real Doomsday Clock. The multiversal damage existed before Loki took control, so before the outcome of the series. Incursions were already happening across realities. Steve Rogers' decision may have triggered future consequences, and Avengers Doomsday could be the final result of Endgame. that's the final slide. That's where we kind of are with this theory right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So,
How do
Can I
you each feel?
this is one. This is fun. It doesn't seem crazy, but one thing I kept thinking about was, okay, this is if this is a sequel to Endgame, but we know Vision was killed. I mean, if you haven't seen the movie, sorry, whatever, not spoiler alert. But he was killed for the Mind Stone, and then I was like, wait a minute. In my head, I forgot. Oh yeah, we're gonna get Vision Quest. That's this year. So I'm thinking, how is that gonna play before this happens? Like, I'm just so interested now.
Yeah. I mean, there is ways for it to happen, right? Because if there's
Right.
multiversal layers to how this is all going to go down, there is a timeline somewhere where we could get another version of Vision. We do have the White Vision still
We
that
do.
we have yet to see, which we're potentially going to see in Vision Quest, and that could somehow play a role because that version of Vision no longer has the stone, right? So
Right.
there's so many possibilities here, especially with how the travel part and everything works out. The only thing that's confusing about this particular set of theories that have been laid out here is that it doesn't account for the X-Men. And
Yeah.
that trailer was pretty prominent, right? Like you can tell that at least from all of the hints and kind of where we've been like theory wise and everything, it seems like the X-Men are going to be kind of like the new center of the MCU going forward, right? So we had the Avengers. At one point I thought it was going to be the new Avengers, or like the kids growing up to be the Avengers, which at some point could play a role in it. But I think the X-Men are going to be like that next pivotal piece to this entire next saga that's coming, the mutant saga basically. And this doesn't account for any of the X-Men yet. So
Yeah.
I'm curious to see what people say about that. I haven't dived deep enough into this part of the theory yet to see how the X-Men have been connected. I've been too busy with Conformity Gate, Duffers.
Well, this account, if you want to visit Volt V, they have a whole nother theory thing up connecting more Avengers and trailers and things.
Really?
Yeah, I just said it in the chat. I don't know if we have time for it, but it's a whole nother long
Let's go.
thing
Let's do it. All right,
Why
let me bring
not?
this up.
talking about they include more stuff.
All right, let's see what we got going here.
Now, again, I don't know how reputable this
Right.
person
And-
is, so take this with a grain of salt.
Exactly.
But they
We're
look like
just
they've been
reading a
posting
theory.
a lot of Marvel stuff on their page. Their whole page is like Marvel, 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 Marvel.
I mean,
Marvel.
who
So it
knows?
looks like a
they
lot of Marvel stuff.
probably are just so into this and are eager, just like it honestly feels like we're back into right between
Conformity Gate.
no Infinity War and trying to figure out Endgame and then all of that. It kind of feels like
Yeah.
that. It feels it's fun. Like
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, let's see what we got here. So this other post said, actually, let me read the full post. It says, Avengers Doomsday is quietly setting up its darkest story yet. Doom isn't just attacking heroes, he's targeting the powerful children across broken timelines as the multiverse begins to collapse. Every teaser and post-credit scene was a clue, and this is only the first act. Oh, I wonder if
What?
that's how like Wanda's children are going to be connected, because they're still
Oh.
kind of in limbo too.
Well, you've seen
You're
their
right, you're
kids. We
right.
saw in the trailer. We saw Love. We saw
Oh, okay.
Steve
Wicked.
Rogers' kid.
All right, so
But who's
let's,
Steve Rogers' kid? That's a thing.
I don't know. There's the baby. Remember, he's holding the baby.
Yeah.
he turns out to be Luxo Jr. or something like that. All right, so this slide says Avengers Doomsday is hiding its true story in plain sight. Avengers Doomsday has released its 4th teaser trailer. Marvel claims these are not trailers, but clues. 4 teasers and 2 post-credit scenes are now connected. Together, they reveal the first act of Doomsday. The puzzle finally starts to make sense. Next slide says, the post-credit scenes matter. Every scene is a piece of the puzzle. Marvel's Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four all tie into Doomsday. Some scenes are confirmed. The Russo brothers are confirmed Russo brothers footage. Others are indirect setups with massive implications. All of them point toward a multiversal collapse and one villain pulling the strings. Next slide says Monica Rambeau's mistake. The incursion begins with Monica. Oh, that's
Did
far
not
back.
expect that.
Yeah, Monica wakes up inside the Fox X-Men universe. Beast is played by Kelsey Grammer again. Yeah, okay. This confirms it is the original X-Men timeline. Monica crossed realities through a space-time tear. Her presence helps trigger an incursion.
That's true.
Okay.
That is
okay.
true.
I'm with this so far. The new Avengers divide. Avengers versus Avengers. Thunderbolts post-credit shows a 14-month time jump. Yelena, Bucky, Walker, Ghost, Alexei, and Bob form a team. They occupy Avengers Tower in New York. Sam Wilson legally owns the Avengers name. The team rivalry is officially established. Remember they had that whole marketing campaign where it was like the new Avengers and
Yeah.
with a Z and stuff. Yeah, okay. All right. The Fantastic Four arrival. Rocket.
No, I
changes
think they
every-
mean the Fantastic Four rocket.
Oh, I see.
It's confusing
Okay.
because there's a picture of Rocket. I read it 4 times to figure out what the hell is going on.
Yeah, I made the same connection, so I think you're right. So the Fantastic Four rocket enters the MCU space.
Yeah.
It interrupts the Avengers dispute instantly. The landing zone is near Wakanda and Tolakan. Reed detects massive vibranium energy. Wakanda becomes the center of the crisis. And we kind of know that because of Namor's attack and everything, so we know that that's coming. Doom reveals himself. RDJ's Doom makes his move. Fantastic Four post-credit jumps 4 years ahead. Sue Storm reaches to her son Franklin. Doom appears silently behind her. This is RDJ's first on-screen Doom moment. The kidnapping theory begins here. And then the next slide says why Franklin matters. A child who should not exist. Franklin holds the power cosmic. He plays a major role in Secret Wars. Reed and Sue were never meant to have a child. He who remains likely prevented his birth. Free will allowed Franklin to exist. Next slide says Steve Rogers' secret son. The timeline that should never be. And this is kind of the first one that I've been on board with for a while, that Steve going back to Peggy was really the first part of what started causing all of this. But the Monica Rambeau thing being the first part actually is much more of an interesting pivot point for everything. Anyway, the Steve slide says, the timeline that should never be. Steve stayed in the past with Peggy Carter. They had a child together. This timeline was allowed under Loki's rule, but it should never have existed. Doom may target his child next. Thor and Love. Eternity's daughter is dying. Thor prays for strength in the second teaser. His daughter, Love, is weak and bedridden. Love was resurrected using Eternity's power. Her life is tied to the universe itself. If universe dies, so does she.
Wow.
The X-Men tragedy. Doom hits the mutants. Fox-era X-Men return in the third teaser. Xavier, Magneto, and Cyclops appear. Cyclops is enraged and grieving. Rachel Summers has been taken. She carries the Phoenix Force. Rachel should not exist. Another broken timeline. Scott and Jean were supposed to be dead. Days of Future Past alter. Oh my god, I totally forgot about that. Oh,
Time
Rachel's
to watch that movie.
existence breaks reality. Oh, you're right. It's time to go back to the Fox X-Men films. Rachel's existence breaks reality rules. The Phoenix power makes her a target. Doom is harvesting cosmic children. Ah, okay.
So oh.
Okay, let's go to Shuri.
Wow. Okay.
Let's go. Did you have a thought before we read the Wakanda one?
Nope, that was my brain trying to
Okay.
process.
So, Wakanda's lost. Shuri has lost everything. Fourth teaser focuses on Wakanda and Talakan. Shuri, Namor, and M'Baku meet in the desert. Shuri says she has lost everything she loves. This includes her secret nephew, T'Challa Jr. Doom may have taken him too.
Is his name's not T'Challa Jr. though, right? He has like a name that's not.
he
T'Challa
has a
Jr.
name, but I mean, I
Yeah,
think it's just easier.
Yeah. Doomsday's true plan. The Children of Power. Franklin Richards holds the power cosmic. Love holds eternity's power. Rachel Summers holds the Phoenix Force. Steve's son breaks the timeline. Doom is collecting multiversal anomalies, which theoretically
Makes sense.
makes sense. And I don't think this is the end. I think Speed and Wiccan also play a part in that because they,
Yep.
especially Wiccan, has Wanda's abilities as well.
Yep.
So, oh man, okay. The Avengers split into teams. Oh, this is all Secret Wars and House of M and everything just like
Oh.
crashing into one giant story here. 3 missions, 1 war. Reed leads a team to the X-Men universe. Thor follows Loki's distress beacon. Sam and Bucky track Doom's time jump. Wakanda becomes the command center. The multiverse begins collapsing. The real story of Doomsday. This is only Act 1. Universes are colliding and dying, which we kind of knew from Loki. Doom moves freely across time and space. Children are the key to survival or destruction. Avengers Doomsday sets up secret wars. Yep. And Doom is already winning. You may never see our page again if you don't follow us.
That's just the last slide, I guess.
Yeah.
Follow that page, I guess.
But you can follow us if you want.
Yeah, you never see our page again if you don't follow
Yeah.
Podketeers.
Oh
my goodness.
So we got to go back to wow. Now I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, this is good.
Yeah.
Kudos. Dang, Feige.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff here. So I again I believe the storytelling obviously that the Russos are putting together because from the moment that I think Marvel and Kevin Feige realized like, hey, we could turn this into a much larger thing, and it's becoming this much larger thing, to their credit, but also at times to their detriment, they're planning a lot of movies and a lot of steps ahead, right? So they kind of
Right.
have planned out a lot of stuff. Some of it has panned out really well. Some of it has some plot holes that
Well, they have to,
hopefully at some point,
Yeah.
get answered. But overall, it seems like, as far as what we've gotten so far, if they're right, if the Doomsday Clock isn't just like a countdown to the film itself, but these pieces of time as more trailers and more teasers appear, there's supposed to be this like really huge game played on a giant field soon in the next like week or weekend or something, I think, which tends to have a lot of commercials that people really want to see sometimes, which also seems like a really great time to debut a full-blown trailer revealing
Yep.
Robert Downey Jr.
Oh,
as
the
Dr.
superb
Doom.
owl.
Yes,
The
'Cause we can't
Bad
use the
Bunny,
other word.
concert.
the Bad Bunny concert with the other
With-
players on the field as well.
Yeah.
Superb owl.
Yeah. So
The big
I
game.
guess that's where we're going to get a full trailer at this point.
Oh yeah, most likely.
We'll get our first look, like full-blown look at Robert Downey Jr. hopefully as Dr. Doom, because we've kind of seen him from behind as part of, spoiler alert, the end credit scene for Fantastic Four. This is exciting.
Yeah.
Again, more puzzles. I haven't really dived into this one. I haven't had a chance to because I was so entrenched in conformity gate. Duffers! But here I am. Now I can concentrate on this because
There you
it looks like conformity gate. I'm going to let other people solve it. I will admit, huge. I love Stranger Things, but I wasn't as huge a fan as other people are, which are not struggling to put together those theories. So I'm going to leave it up to them.
Yep.
If something happens, I will totally be on board and feel somehow vindicated for the work that I've done. If not, I'm just going to leave it up to the fact that it was just I almost cursed right now, but it was a crappy ending. And now I can move on to the Doomsday Clock and all of the puzzles that are associated with this.
Yep. These are the brothers we could trust.
And these are the days of our lives.
These are the days of our lives. All right. Well, super fun. We got one more thing to talk about before we wrap up today's episode, and it is it's a couple
Wars?
things that are tied together. What's that?
Star Wars.
Star Wars. Yes,
Star
exactly.
Wars.
We got two big things that came out of the Star Wars universe from Disney this week. The first one is that in the parks, Galaxy's Edge is going to be changing. There was an article post, some confirmation from Disney that they're kind of leaving the story of Batuu as they had originally designed it to be kind of behind. They're bringing in original trilogy characters again. So Luke Skywalker and R2-D2. It looks from what I understood, the land is going to be kind of split in two. Right, so
Right.
what's going to happen over on the side with the Millennium Falcon
Black
and
Spire
Otis Cantina,
Outpost.
Black Spire Outpost, yeah, that's going to be the side that you're going to see the Jedi, you're going to see Luke, you're going to see R2-D2, Chewbacca stuff.
Little
On the
Arthur.
opposite side, where they have the TIE fighter, the TIE Echelon is where you're going to see Darth Vader now. You're also going to see
Right.
Kylo Ren. You're going to see the Stormtroopers.
You're
all
not
that
going
stuff.
to see Kylo
Not-
Ren.
Yeah, no.
Well, they're
booted.
removing Kylo.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
so
got-
we're not getting Kylo at all.
He got booted to the Disney Visa meet and greet. And
Our
tomorrow.
Yeah.
interventions.
Yeah.
Oh, poor Kylo.
So here's
man.
I have the thing up. That's they say blah 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 blah, but the
I missed that part where it's like, blah, 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 blah,
it was like buried. Yeah, the blah blah
Oh,
blah.
okay. I'm
asterisk.
glad you got it. I'm
Darth
glad you caught
Vader's
it, yeah.
search for Luke Skywalker will bring him to Batuu. The Sith Lord will be joined by Imperial stormtroopers. Blah blah blah. Leia Organa and Han Solo be reunited with Luke Skywalker and Chewbacca amid the Rocky Spires. Luke Skywalker will roam the outpost seeking knowledge of the Force and artifacts related to lightsaber building, kyber crystals, and more. Leia Organa may be spotted near the Millennium Falcon, where she'll recruit travelers and locals to help keep Luke safe. Han Solo will also linger around his prize ship, tempted by a local cantina. These iconic heroes will join familiar faces you may see in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Encounter Ahsoka Tano and the Mandalorian Grogu near the marketplace. Beloved starship mechanic and fighter pilot assistant R2-D2 will also continue rolling through. The forested area on the outskirts of Black Spire Outpost will continue to represent a time inspired by the Age of the Resistance. You may find Rey around the Resistance camp, and if you're bold enough, become a hero yourself in climactic battle for the First Order aboard Star Wars Rise of Resistance. The other things happening here is in the Batuu area, or the Black Spire Outpost area, they're going to be putting in John Williams' Star Wars score from the first 6 films. So the prequels and the original films. And then it says, passing through the tunnels, Star Wars Galaxy Edge, you'll hear main title and the Force theme. As you wander through the island, you may hear motifs including Han Solo and the Princess, Desert and the Robot Auction, Emperor, and more. The Cantina Band song will be heard in the cantina. I'm assuming they show in a picture of DJ Rex. I'm assuming it's just going to be included like within
the playlist.
The DJ Rex's set. So there's adding a song there. It says in the era of Galactic Civil War, proprietor Oga Gara only recently opened this watering hole, which already become a popular spot for intergalactic travelers. So they're just basically rolling the timeline back like 35, 40 years.
So
That's there's
it looks like it's for those of you that know the Star Wars like eras. It's basically the original trilogy, which is the Galactic Civil War, the era of the Mandalorian, which is the New Republic, and then the sequel trilogy, which is the Resistance versus the First Order.
Right. Let's see. Other things are saying First Order Cargo, which is the store that's next to the big ship at the front, will transform into Black Spire Surplus, a military salvage operating artifacts from across the history of the galaxy, including Imperial and Rebel items from the Galactic Civil War. Doc Ondars will display different array of one-of-a-kind items. An earlier generation of the Mubo family will operate the Droid Depot, where they'll be prototyping the BB-8 style droid. And you can still build droids, and you can still build lightsabers. And they say you can still get Uranto wraps, and you can still ride Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run, and you can still watch Shadows of a Memory, a Skywalker Saga, and Fire of the Rising Moons. And
that's a projection show.
That's the projection show, and then the fireworks show that is just the Disneyland fireworks, whatever they're doing, and they call it something else. Yeah. Somewhere else, I don't think it was in this post, but somewhere else, somebody had said that a Kylo Ren is going to be at the Disney Visa thing.
Well, that's sad because it was a good character to have, but I guess it kind of makes sense if they're shifting the timeline. In general, your thoughts on this shift by Disney?
There's still hope for Babu Frick somewhere. Since they've got Mando, Grogu, hey, I'll take that win. But I like it. I like it. When we were talking about it, I was like, they should have done this from the very beginning because we were owed droids and different characters and whatnot. And I'm just glad it's gonna get new life.
Right.
I'm just excited for it. Like, this is a good thing. Poor Kylo, but I mean, it's gonna be fun.
Right, and I'm guessing that the Darth Vader will have the same sort of mechanisms that Kylo Ren has with the finger buttons and all that stuff to do all the same kind of stuff. I did forget to mention, so this is starting April 29th, only at Disneyland.
Yeah.
So Walt Disney World will still be staying the same.
We got something different.
So we do have something different. I'm assuming they're trying it out to see how folks will like it.
People are gonna love it.
Yeah.
Right. Everybody.
That's where I stand.
All the old people, they go, "Where's Darth Vader? Where's Han Solo?" And I agree.
think it's just the old people. I think it's just in general. Like from the very beginning, there's always been that confusion about what the land is actually.
Where's
supposed to be.
C-3PO?
And
that's my question still.
It was cool. Yeah, I mean, it was cool that they were able to come up with a cool new story that kind of creates this outpost and this place where you can stop at and stuff like that. But that's not what people are really going for. Like, everybody, aside from the fact that nobody calls it Galaxy's Edge, like everybody calls it Star Wars Land. It's always like the most popular times that I've seen it, aside from like the opening and everybody vlogging about it. Some of the most popular times have been when they took characters that were part of Season of the Force and they brought them into Batuu, like, into Galaxy's Edge to kind of showcase them. When Vader was there before, when Luke was there before, those were test runs to see how people would like.
Chewbacca had a red coat on. Yeah,
like all that stuff makes a difference to people that have been fans for years. Like, I'm still confused as to why we don't have a Life Day thing or something.
Right.
They just did it this year.
Did
But
they?
it's not like official.
No, it was.
just people...
Chewbacca came out in a red coat, and he had the orb.
That was a Disney thing.
Yeah, that was real Chewbacca.
That's cool. I didn't know it was like an official Disney
real
thing.
honest to goodness monkey fighting Baka.
I thought it was just like a Bats Day or like a.
No, that was real.
Okay.
That's
Oh, that's
awesome.
actually cool. I didn't even realize that. That's so awesome. Okay, so I think that's the direction people want, right? Like they want to connect to these things that they grew up with, all these things that you may have shown to your kids, and I get it. Like the new sequel trilogy is what's supposed to be carrying the franchise into the future, but there's always going to be these iconic characters that will never go away, that they're always going to be a
Right.
part of the franchise somehow. And like, if we could get a Yoda thing in there somewhere, we could slip Babu Frick in there for Mel. You know, we could maybe get some other droids, kind of like
C-3PO.
roaming
We
around.
got
C-3PO,
blueprints.
exactly.
Armchair like episode, we have that.
We
Ready to
do.
go.
We do. Imagineering, if you need some ideas,
Feel free.
listen to our Galaxy
Max
and then come
Rebo.
back to us. Just
Figure and Dan and the modal nodes.
all that stuff. So
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
see, that'll be good too. And then poor Kylo Ren over at Interventions.
Obi-2 Kenobi.
All right, so the other Star Wars thing. This is great, especially because it's coming like within a few months. Like, they're making the change really quickly. The other big Star Wars news is something that a lot of really hardcore Star Wars fans have been wanting for a really long time, and I guess have been fighting for a really long time. Andrew, do you want to take it from here?
Sure, yeah. Just the other day, yesterday as we record this, a few days ago as this comes out, Kathleen Kennedy, the longtime executive producer, whatever her title is, creative director, whatever, big boss of Lucasfilm, is stepping, as they're putting it, handing the reins over to her longtime lieutenants. She's not leaving the company. She's just changing her stuff
Position?
she's doing. So yeah, she's going back to producing full time. Kathleen Kennedy, which she's been a producer for forever. So it's nothing that she can't do. But as most people have been speculating for months already, Dave Filoni will be taking over as chief creative officer, and that's his job now. But Dave Filoni and Lynwyn Brennan. Lynwyn Brennan are taking over for Kathleen Kennedy. Dave Filoni will be basically the creative head, and then Lynwyn will be doing the sort of the more businessy things. I'm trying to skim over this article because I had the stuff on what they exactly were doing, and then I lost it.
It's funny.
Yeah.
Before you continue, it's funny that they're taking this approach of splitting the creative and the business portion of it, similar to how we've discussed what Bob Iger's potential successor should be. Should it be two people that kind of run creative and run the company side, similar to how it was run back with you know what I mean, like with Michael Eisner and Frank. Anyway, I when I first saw the article, it was an interesting turn of events to see that it was going to be two people kind of running Lucas.
So this what I'm reading now is actually a Deadline interview with Kathleen Kennedy, and they asked her about it, and she says, 2 years ago I went to Bob and Alan to figure out what the transition plan would be, and I made the recommendation that it be Dave Filoni and Lynwyn Brennan, the latter of whom has been running the business alongside me. She comes out of ILM 16 years as a general manager and then transitioned into being a general manager for Lucasfilm. She's been my key financial partner, my business partner running the company. Dave is the perfect person to transition, but he hadn't made a movie, and I worked very closely with him. I worked right at the beginning of Rogue One to get him the feel of how live action works. His background is in animation, as he worked with George Lucas on Clone Wars. He very talented and immersed in Star Wars. He and Pablo Hidalgo are like the walking encyclopedias inside the company. They always have the answer when you ask, hey, can I do this with a lightsaber? Or what colors were the sabers? Or anything else you need to know what has come before. Dave has now spent all of the seasons of The Mandalorian working with Jon Favreau, who's been a great mentor to him. And then he went off and did Ahsoka, which came from some of the stories he was telling in Clone Wars. He was able to create the season 1 of Ahsoka. Now he's just finished directing some of season 2, writing all the episodes. He's finished October. But my point is, we've been talking about this for 2 years, which I think is funny. They say, hold on, Bob Iger retired, was replaced, then came back, and she says, that is not happening here. I told everybody I would stick around a bit longer than I had intended, but I'm so ready to go off and have a chance to make lots of movies. I want to do more movies. I want the opportunity to get back to the kind of eclectic group of movies the way I used to. I'm looking forward to working with Frank again on some stuff. He's been doing a lot of documentaries and having a ball. I am ready, really interested in new technology, I have to say.
I mean, having the opportunity to, run an organization or a company like this and then just going back to work on passion projects, I have to admire that. Whether it was her choice or whether there was some company restructure or whatever, when you have that type of money and you have the opportunity to go back and do what you love, I think is just super cool in general. But I will say that I'm surprised that the reins weren't handed over to Jon Favreau. I know
he didn't want it.
Yeah, I know. Like, I'm sure they could have given him some kind of amount of money that would have helped him say yes. But Dave Filoni's interesting, obviously, because he's had a lot of success with Star Wars. Obviously, he's written some pretty good stuff with it. But I think what concerns Star Wars fans. I'm not a big enough fan to see this side of this argument, but I guess the argument with Dave Filoni is that he tends to make the universe a lot smaller than it is, and he concentrates on his own characters a lot. Like Ahsoka Tano is the main character he always wants to focus on, and he tends to change things that break the legacy and the lore of what's been built in the previous films just to kind of cater to his vision of what he wants the Star Wars universe to be. So there's quite a bit of criticism as far as how Dave Filoni puts stories together and stuff. But I mean, he is one of the people that have brought us some success, and alongside Jon Favreau, we got The Mandalorian, and that was a huge success. I don't know what the film is going to be like. Obviously, we've gotten a handful of pretty decent Star Wars projects out of it. But again, I'm not the hardcore Star Wars fan that's going to be well, here's why I think this and
Star
this.
Wars.
I will keep complaining about the duffers.
Well, what I'd like to bring up is that he is gonna be the creative person of Lucasfilm. He's not the creative person of Star Wars. Lucasfilm. Now we know Lucasfilm has 3 other properties, but there's one other main one that they have that's not Star Wars.
The Muppets.
The movie? No, that would be Henry Jones Jr., Indiana Jones. And I know we've kind of just dealt with the last in the main line Indiana Jones stuff, but I'm very curious to see if anything new in regards to Indiana Jones, if it's a series, if it's anything, for the love of God, comes out
get the
of
sequel, Oklahoma James.
There we go. There was what was the guy that was named Oklahoma? I forget. There was a rip-off Indiana Jones thing for some property that was I can't remember. It was a board game or a video game or something. It was a similar thing. Or it's Colorado Jones.
Oh wow.
But yeah, I'm Star Wars, yeah, whatever. I like Star Wars enough. Chewbacca, he's great. But what's Dave Filoni's stance on Indiana Jones is what I really need to know. What's Dave Filoni's stance on what's the other thing they have? There's that weird THX for whatever that movie is. They have that, and they technically have American Graffiti.
I mean, they have all sorts.
And there was that weird animated movie that they had that I forget what it was called.
I don't know.
Maybe I'll do it as a question on Quistyland.
Yeah.
Don't look it up. I might do it.
I'm looking at. Okay, I won't. I looked it up, but I won't say anything. So it
Yes.
could be a
Okay.
Kojima
Yeah,
thing.
that's the one I was thinking of. It's weird. I'm just gonna. It came out in 2015. Weird. Anyway, so yeah, there's that. So yeah, what's Dave Filoni think about Indiana Jones?
And let's answer the question: will we see more Howard the Duck?
Was Howard the Duck a Lucasfilm?
It's weird. It's kind of like a Lucas thing, but it's also a Marvel thing.
Right.
So
I think Howard the Duck had his day in the sun in Guardians of the Galaxy 2 or whatever that was.
but now can he have his day in the sun on Batu?
Batu. Howard the Duck's just there with his
Just hanging
cigarette or
out.
whatever he does.
Yeah,
I don't.
you don't know
I
what
could
he
not
does
tell
on
you
his
what
free
Howard
time.
the Duck does other than he's a anthropomorphic duck.
All right. So in general, I think we all kind of fall into the same type of Star Wars category as a fan, right? We're like, we kind of like the movies, we kind of like the series. Some of it was just kind of whatever.
I like Chewbacca.
But you like Chewbacca. How do you feel about this Dave Filoni thing taking over the creative side and just overall Kathleen Kennedy stepping down from the post?
I'm good. As long as we don't get any more Boba Fett stuff, I'm good. That's
the
my
next
only
Dave Filoni
complaint.
project.
Yeah, Dave Filoni, Boba Fett and C-3PO new series
Yeah.
coming to Disney Plus.
Yeah, no, I'm I'm excited because I really liked what he did. Again, I'm not a name everything by sound or whatever Star Wars fan, but I really like what Dave Filoni has brought us. So why not? Maybe we should ask him. Get on the podcast and
Yeah,
and
Dave,
ask
you
him
want to
Dave,
come on
you
the
wanna
pod?
come on the podcast? Do you want to come
Yeah.
and defend what you're bringing? Like maybe he's gonna do a buddy cop film sort of situation where it's like Boba and Babu, right? Babu Frick and Boba Fett
Boba
team
Babu.
up. You know, Boba and Babu. That's the name of the show. And it's like a buddy cop thing.
It's like
where they're
Turner and
going
Hooch,
around.
but
It's exactly, but it's Boba and Babu. Yeah.
Boba.
Or they
Babu.
could, give us a whole couple of shorts with Babu Frick working on different, vehicles, ships, whatever.
like, stopping by.
We'll watch it.
Yeah, it's like, so did you ever, what was that show called? It's called, I don't know. There was this like car show that was on like, I don't know, it was like PBS or something. I don't remember what, or one of the local channels. And it was just this guy and he'd be like, and this is how you have to do to change your tire and this. And if you really want to add a lift kit to your truck, you do this thing. Can't remember what the show is, but it's just that, but Babu Frick and you can't understand him. And it's like
Yeah.
customizing your car.
And then he could be working like on a star speeder, a pod racing machine. I don't know. Anything.
That'd be
Look,
fun.
we're giving free ideas.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm for it.
They should do Star Wars Top Gear,
I like
where
it.
different Star Wars celebrities have to come and then they race around a track on what are those things called?
Pretty sure it's called Disney Speedstorm.
Disney Speedstorm.
All right. Well, I kind of agree with both of you. I think I'm right there. I'm excited to see what happens. I think there's already some criticism about the things that are lined up to be produced. I don't know if he's going to go back and redo the list of everything that's coming, because I think the list was already created when Kathleen Kennedy was like, I think she helped create the list of what's coming. But we'll see. I know that the initial response has just been kind of mixed on Dave Filoni taking over. But, only time will tell, right?
Yep.
So, all right. I think that's going to wrap it up for this episode. Andrew, we have a quizzing line coming up this week, right?
Maybe. I don't
think
remember.
so.
Probably. I'm going to say probably
All right. Let's go
is
with
what I'm
probably.
going to say. I was writing it, so that must mean it's coming up. If I was
Ah.
writing it.
Then we'll go with probably-ish.
Probably-ish. I would assume yes.
Yeah.
Also, shirt. I got shirt. Ep Cup.
Nice.
Heyzen
That's
says,
cool.
This is Spaceship Earth. We got wrong sleeve. Epcot on the sleeve.
Nice.
This was from the D23 Expo a couple years ago in the Imagineering thing.
I
It's
like
pretty cool. I like it too. That's my shirt.
I got Teamboat Willie.
Nice.
There's nothing on the sleeve because this was original version of the shirt. So.
There you go, an OG.
All right, that's it. That's gonna wrap it up. Until next time, keep dreaming, keep moving forward, and always remember to pass on the magic. Have a fantastic week, everyone.
Bye.
See ya.